Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amelia and here on this channel we talk about writing, journaling, and productivity to help you curate a life that you love. Oh my goodness. This week, or this past, this week or like the past 2 weeks honestly have been so insane for me. A lot of you probably know this, but I've been in the middle of renovations and moving, but then also work has ramped up a ton. So there's just a lot going on, and to say that I'm falling behind in a lot of things is an understatement. So today I am trying my best to film a video for YouTube because I feel like I haven't really been able to devote a lot of time to it, so I'm super excited to do that today, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. So today's video is all about art journal ideas. I've had an art journal slash junk journal for quite some time now. I've done it like a lot in years past, and I only recently got back into it, but I have found that I am just in love with this art journal activity thing. So I thought I would share some ideas for you guys if you want to do more art journaling, need more inspiration. And look, these things also count for your regular journal. I have a writing journal which I usually just put writing, like written content in, and then my art journal is totally separate. However, if you guys don't want to have two journals, you could just do all of this in one journal. There's literally nothing stopping you. So yes, ideas for whatever journal you need are coming at you very soon. Before we get into this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up if you like it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to see more journaling and art journaling content like this. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this. So my first art journal idea for you guys is to use envelopes. Envelopes are probably one of my favorite ways to create a more artistic element to your journal, but to also include more interactive content. If you guys haven't seen already, I have a video all about how to make your journal more interactive, but one of those ways is to use like pockets and envelopes. They're super cool because for one, they're really cheap and you can buy them in all sorts of sizes, whether you want a big envelope, a smaller one, whatever you choose. You can even fold some up for yourself with origami paper, which I do plan on making a video about very soon. I want to put more origami elements into my journal, so maybe I'll share that at some point. But yes, using envelopes is a great way to have little secret pockets with little notes and little doodads. You could even put more than just paper in there. You could put little pressed flowers, which you'd have to be very careful with, I imagine. You could put tickets, like pretty much anything that you want in these little envelopes, and I think they're a really great way to add some extra element to your journal. Another way that I like to use art elements and art journaling techniques in my journal is through the use of paint. Now, I haven't done it a lot recently. I've been focusing more on scrapbooking because I personally prefer it. I'm not a big painter myself. However, I do like to paint every now and again, and recently I painted a sunset in my journal with a little window spread, which I'll put up on the screen, and that was so fun, and now I just want to paint a ton in my journal. I just want to keep doing it. But painting is a great way to add something else to your journal that isn't just written word. And I've actually painted in my regular journal, my writing journal, a couple times, and I absolutely love doing it when I do, but the only issue with that journal is the paper is not made for paint, so there's kind of like a wrinkly paper now because I painted on it. But you could do this in your art journal if you have sturdy enough paper. The kind of art journal that I use is actually meant for watercoloring. I believe I got mine, okay, here's the thing. I got mine by a brand that doesn't really exist. So the closest thing I can find is an Arteza, I don't know how you pronounce that, notebook. It's basically the same thing. The covers are the same. Everything is the same. It's just that the brand that I got, for whatever reason, I can't find it. I just can't. But the paper in both of these journals it's watercolor paper. It's meant for painting, and that makes it easier to paint in a journal without the worry that the paint will bleed through or that it'll make the page all crinkly and wrinkly and mess it all up, because it won't, because it's meant for paint. So painting in your journal is a great way to create a more artistic element, and personally, because I guess painting is really hard and I haven't done it enough, I find that it feels really artistic to get a little palette out and to paint. There's so many different things that you can paint, and it kind of goes along with like hand drawing and all of that, and since I mostly focus on scrapbook content, I don't have tons of secrets on this, but I could give you some tips at some point if you want some painting and art tips, but again, not really a painter, so I don't know, I don't have all the secrets, so yeah. Another way that you can spice up your journal to have more, if you're running out of ideas or to have more creativity in your written journal, is to use different color palettes. And this is something that I have been pushing for myself for so long. Color palettes make a difference. I think I try to go with a certain color scheme each time I do a scrapbook journal. I tend to gravitate towards warmer colors rather than cooler ones, but I have been trying to experiment with bright yellows and cool blues and a bunch of different colors that I normally wouldn't use. I have an entire spread where I used like this bright baby pink color, and I mean basically the color of my shirt. But a nice pink color that I normally wouldn't use. And the reason I wouldn't use it is just because I'm not a huge fan of pink. Love purple, don't like pink. I don't know why. But by pushing myself to use colors that I normally wouldn't use, I'm able to create spreads that I never would have considered making. I like to come up with the color palette before I jump into any scrapbook endeavor. You know, is like overall color palette that doesn't have like a rainbow of colors. Not to say that you can't have a rainbow of colors in a color palette, but sometimes if you narrow it down and create palettes that are very specific and kind of draw inspiration from one accent, it can challenge your artistic design and push you to explore different things that you normally wouldn't do. So that's kind of how I go about planning my scrapbook things. I usually just start with a color palette and work from there, and it's something that's really helped me to hone my artistic talent and also just to kind of push me into different avenues creatively. Okay, so this next tip for art journaling, junk journaling, all that good stuff is probably one of my favorites, and that is to use ephemera. Now, I haven't really used the word ephemera like ever. I just discovered it a couple weeks ago when I made my ephemera wall, which is back here. I don't know if you can see it in the camera view, but it's there. And yeah, so ephemera's definition means things that are meant to be used for a short time. So this could include like tickets, candy wrappers, letters, postcards, just stuff that you're supposed to use like briefly and then never again. But these are things that I often collect and try to put in my scrapbook, especially travel scrapbook pages. I really try to collect maps and tickets, wristbands and vouchers and all sorts of things to put in my journal. So that's something that I like to do a lot. But I also collect letters and little notes and stickers and just all kinds of things to put in the journal. And I think when it comes to scrapbooking specifically, people don't tend to think that they can add postcards and little candy wrappers and flowers and all these other things. Some people do, some people don't. It's kind of like it depends on your experience with scrapbooking and journaling, but personally, I love putting almost anything into my scrapbook. Seriously. I plan to embroider in it one day. Will I? I'm hoping I do. That is my plan. I want to embroider in my scrapbook. I want to try all kinds of things. There's so many different things you can put in scrapbooks aside from washi tape and paper. So I try to change it up quite a bit if I can, and using ephemera is a great way to do that, especially because we often come into contact with like receipts every day, or we come into contact with like little tags off of clothing or cushions, and I think all of these things could be used in your junk journal / scrapbook if you want it to be. So this next one kind of goes along with ephemera, and that is to use unconventional knickknacks in your journal. What do I mean by unconventional? Things that aren't paper. That's my definition. I like to use buttons, string, fabric, flowers, which I guess are kind of conventional. But I like to use different things in my journal that aren't just flat and aren't just paper. The reason for this is because it does create a very big change, a big difference, and makes your journal more exciting and more interactive. But anyway, using buttons, string, little knickknacks is a really great way to spice up the journal a bit and to add a bit more junk to the junk journal. Now, this wouldn't be a journal ideas video if I didn't actually give you more ideas when it comes to themes. So this next one is all about to follow themes. Recently, I've been doing different spreads that are associated with themes because, for one, you almost can't run out of ideas because there's so many different things you can do, but also it kind of keeps you doing like more projects, like in case you lose inspiration or just don't know what to create, but also it's kind of like an over time sort of thing, so it's kind of fun. Let me just explain this. I'm doing this all wrong. But one of the themes that I've been doing recently that I've been super in love with is these zodiac spread themes. So far, I have done Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and Cancer, and today I'll be doing Leo, which I'll be filming and you'll have already seen that. But I have done quite a few of these zodiac spreads, and honestly, I love them so much. For one, I just love the zodiac signs. I love astrology and all of that stuff. It looks really cool, it's fun, and it's something that's been really cool to do in my journal. It's very creative, and again, it's a theme that I can kind of follow over a period of time. So every month, I know I get to sit down and do a little zodiac scrapbook spread, which is super fun and relaxing, and again, because it's one big overarching theme, it's one less thing that I have to stress about when it comes to coming up with ideas, and then also it's like an overall project, so I can't wait until it's completed and I can do a big flip through over it. I feel like that'd be super fun. So themes like that, like the zodiac one, are a great way to give yourself more ideas. Other themes could include maybe elemental spreads, or maybe you do one for the seasons, for each season, or one for the holidays, or maybe you do one for like Harry Potter houses. I don't know. Other themes could include maybe you do some plant themes and you follow certain flowers or certain plants. Maybe you do more of like house decor themes. I'm only saying this because I've kind of considered it, where you have like a modern theme and then a vintage, then rustic, then traditional, and you just kind of go with it and see where your mind takes you. There are so many ways that you can theme your journal pages to create more spreads, more inspiration, more ideas, all of that good stuff. All right, and this next tip, oh my goodness. This one you guys might not like, but it's something that has helped me when it comes to finding more creativity and finding more inspiration in journaling, and that is to limit yourself. I try very hard not to go crazy with scrapbooking hauls, partially because I can't afford to go crazy, but also because if I do, then I feel like that inspiration, that creativity, it doesn't reach its full potential. When you are limited to, say, only 5 different colors of washi tape, you have to get very creative with how you use those 5 colors of washi tape. Same for paper. When you are limited with paper, you can only do so much with it. Something I often do, and this is mostly to save money, but I often print all of my stickers off of Canva because it's free and because I have a printer, so I can do that. But also because it limits me. If I were to just buy stickers whenever I needed them, or if I were to always rely on going out and getting the best scrapbook paper, then I feel like I wouldn't be able to be as creative as I am. I think limiting the colors that I have and the materials that I have to work with has pushed me to be more creative with what I already have. It's one thing to go out and buy stickers and just lay a bunch of stickers down and create a page because it's easy and because, yeah, it looks great, but also there's no real creativity to it. You're just laying down something that someone else designed over and over again. I think what's really creative is folding paper a different way, using it a different way, drawing a different way, trying things that seem so unique and strange, and then somehow they turn out great. That's what I love about scrapbooking, is really pushing myself to use what I have in different ways. And so that's something that I really like to do, is to push myself into using what I have rather than trying to go out and buy more and more to suit my themes or whatever I'm trying to create, and instead I push myself to be more creative and invent something that I probably wouldn't have done had I just gone out and bought the solution. Alright, well that was a quick one, but I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Those are a few ideas that I have for your scrapbooks or junk journals, or art journals, whatever you want to call it. If you guys like these videos, please be sure to leave a comment down below letting me know, and don't forget to like this video because it does let me know in a different way that you guys actually enjoy these. If you want more ideas, again, I'm open to doing it, just gotta let me know. Anyway, thank you again for watching, and until next time, I will catch you later.